What up, everybody?
Yo, what up? What's up? What's up?
Let's get it.
Let's get it.
Let's
We
get it.
have a special guest. Welcome in Mark Adams, aka
What
49ers
is
Camelot.
up? Yeah, how's it going, guys?
Hey, how you doing, Mark?
What up?
Doing great. Doing great. Thanks for
Yep.
having me.
And in case y'all didn't get the description on the I don't know, I'm at a loss for words. He is here to talk about let me put up the banner. The Hall of Fame case for Roger Craig. I can't talk tonight. So I understand you're going on like a little mini promotion tour for this huge series you put together. You interviewed some people. Why don't you go ahead and talk about it?
Yeah, so what we're doing is making the Hall of Fame case for Roger Craig, that he belongs in the Hall of Fame and that it's long overdue. So we have Larry Krueger, who used to be with KMBR Radio, who kind of is the guy behind the numbers that helped build that portion of the case. And then we have some Hall of Fame voters that actually were involved, like Matt Mayoko and Clark Judge, Rick Gosselin of the Dallas Morning News. Daniel Brown is on there of The Athletic. But then the stars of the podcast are guys like Steve Young and Ronnie Lott and Brent Jones, Jesse Sapolo, Randy Cross, Guy McIntyre. And what these guys are doing is helping us make the case for Roger Craig. But we didn't stop there. We didn't stop with just this podcast series. This week, we have people like Ronnie Lott and some people at Eddie DeBartolo's office and some others like Kirk Reynolds, who used to be with the 49ers, that are actually reaching out to players who played against Roger Craig back in the 80s and getting statements from them. Because what happened is last week I released this video, this podcast series, and sent it to the Hall of Fame senior voters, and had a couple of them write me back and say, "Hey, this is great, but could we get some videos from players who played against him?" And I was like, "Crap!" I had been working on that. I wrote a story that this podcast series was based around. I wrote this story a couple of years ago. Well, it came out in 2022, early part of 2022. And then I followed that with a story like that with opposing players. And I had Harry Carson and Mike Singletary statements from them. And so I tried to get Singletary on this podcast series, and he never wrote me back. So I don't know what that's about. But so I went into this thinking, yeah, that would have been nice, but I'm going to go with what I have. So then when those voters wrote back and said, "Hey, we'd like to hear from opposing players," then this lady at DeBartolo's office and I were kind of working together on this, and she's like, "Look, let me get Mr. D to help out with this." And Ronnie Lott said, "Hey, I'll help out with this." And the next thing I know, Carmen Policy was helping with it. And so the next thing I know, they're lining up. I think Matt Mayoko is supposed to be on a Zoom call sometime this week with several players that played against Roger Craig. So we did the podcast series, but we didn't stop with that. We really, it's long overdue. Guy belongs in the Hall of Fame. And so we want to see that happen.
Oh, yeah.
No, I completely agree with you, man.
Absolutely.
Like, I grew up, like, that was my era coming up as a little kid. He was like the first running back I actually was able to, like, oh, I know what that is, you know? So
Yeah.
I've been stomping on that for forever because, again, he's the one I grew up on. So
Yeah.
I even felt like nobody should be wearing number 33 anymore. Like, I hated when other people had it. Like, that was my guy. And Roger Craig was kind of before his time, you know, honestly, he was really before his time.
He was.
The things that he could do, like, you know, with catching the ball out the backfield and everything. So I really hope he gets in, man. I think it's long, like you said, long overdue, man. Like, long overdue. What do you think is like what's caused him to have this delay so far? Like,
Right. Like, I don't understand. Like, what is the holdup? Like, everybody else in this whole class, everybody, correct me if I'm wrong, but like almost everybody else in this class is in that played on the team. I'm like, what's the holdup?
Yeah, it's there are multiple reasons. I mean, there are some people who discredit him because he played with Jerry Rice and Joe Montana and John Taylor. But the case that we made is that actually hurt him because Jerry Rice was a statistical hog. I mean, he's the greatest statistical player in NFL history. And so the 49ers fed Jerry Rice the ball intentionally throughout the game because he was just so good. And so for Roger Craig to have to play with a guy like that, I mean, that actually hurt his statistics. Not only that, but he was a fullback before he became a halfback. And when he did the 1,000, he was a fullback at that time. And so some people think that holds him back. Also, the fact that we lost Bill Walsh too soon hurt him as well, because if Walsh was still alive, he would be making the case for Roger Craig himself.
Advocating for him, right.
Yeah, Walsh carried so much clout that I think that Roger would have already been in. And then the other thing is the fumble. I mean, when he fumbled in the NFC Championship game in 19
preventing a three-peat.
The three-peat fumble. Oh man.
I know. And so
preventing the three-peat. Yeah. They hold that against him.
I had a guy last week write me and say, I don't think he belongs in because of that fumble. And then he said, we'll never forgive him. And I said, first off, don't include us in your we.
Yeah.
And second, I hope you never make mistakes in your job, because everybody does. So, and not, I mean, it was a great defensive play. And so that stuff happens, I mean,
by chance, was his name Marcus? The guy that emailed you, was his name Marcus? We know a guy that's like that.
I don't know.
And real quick, I got to shout out the chat real quick. Just, hey, everybody, we got Danielle, we got Jorge, we got Marcus, one of our mods. What up? Thank you all for joining.
Yeah, so, I mean, you can go back to the 1981 NFC Championship game. Before there was the catch, there was like 6 49ers turnovers or something like that. Gina, you may have been at that game. I don't know.
My parents,
were you at that game?
I remember watching it.
Yeah. And
the catch, my parents were there and I was watching it, but yeah.
Yeah, and that game was filled with, I mean, Montana was great at the end,
3
but he
interceptions
wasn't great throughout the game. So,
yeah,
that stuff happens, and that shouldn't be held against him.
Yeah, like you can't take a whole Hall of Fame career and dumb it down to one fumble in one game. Granted, it was a critical fumble at a critical game, but still, you're judging that man off of one play.
What's up, Steve-O?
That's just not right.
It's just right. I mean,
get the man in.
You're going to dissect everything. It's like, dude, come on.
Yeah,
I've made quite a few mistakes in my life. Hopefully, I'll get to the Hopefully, I'll get to the pearly gates.
You'll get through the gates. They'll let you in. They're gonna let you in.
Can I show this smile?
As long as you don't fumble. I mean,
don't fumble anything, Jenny. Yeah. Don't drop any balls.
Big game, they won't let you in. That's for sure.
Right.
Hey, Wise, where's that?
Yeah, I got to pull that up. But I do.
What's
have
up,
a
Niner
question.
Mike? Barbershop.
Yeah, what up, Niner
Trey?
Mike? What up, Barbershop?
What up, Trey? Steve-O.
What? So can you kind of walk us through the process of right now where he is as far as the Hall of Fame ballot? Like, does he have a limited amount of opportunities going forward that he can actually get this, or is he in the senior committee? I don't know where we are or how that actually works.
Yeah, he's in the senior section, I guess you would say.
Right.
I don't know the proper phrasing, but and so basically one of the Hall of Fame, because the media that I talked to, 3 of them were Hall of Fame voters, and one of them, I don't remember which one, told me that the sad part is that once you age out of the regular Hall of Fame voting and you're now in the senior section, your chances of getting enshrined go way down. Wow. And so it's really sad because you have players like Ken Stabler who recently went in, but it was after he was deceased. And so that's sad because these guys don't get to experience the joy and everything of going in. But right now he's in the final 12. And this coming Tuesday, the Hall of Fame senior voters meet, and they will narrow that 12 down to either 1, 2, or 3 who are going to be elected to the Hall of Fame. So last year, Roger didn't even make it to the final 12. So this year he's in. Now he's been in it other times before, so this isn't the first time he's been in the final 12. But I think that he has a good chance.
Okay.
And so he's not the only thing that would keep him out or like make him to where he's no longer going to be eligible would be if he died. And like I mentioned, Stabler, he still could get in. It's just that he wouldn't be able to experience it.
Be posthumous. Yeah.
Danielle.
Okay. So question. When it comes to being selected, is there like a group like that he's going against per se, or you know what I mean? And if
Like,
so,
how
do
many
you
can
know-
be selected from that group? Is it
Right.
only one that can get in, or is it
Well, there's three.
three spots? Okay.
They can elect up to 3 seniors. It was only one, but I think 2 years ago they went from 1 to 3, which obviously tripled his chances of getting in. But they don't
Okay,
have to
like
pick
that.
3. So if they only think that one is truly eligible, or not eligible but worthy, then they can pick only one. They don't have to pick 3.
Okay. Well, I definitely hope he gets in. I guess my last question would be, do you believe that the Pro Football Hall of Fame is the hardest Hall of Fame to actually get enshrined in?
Gosh, I would think that the Baseball Hall of Fame would be harder, because those guys, the voters that vote in the baseball players seem to carry grudges.
Yeah.
And I mean, because you look at guys
I was
like
gonna say
Bonds and
Barry
McGuire
Bonds,
and
yeah.
some of those guys that that might never get in and should be. And so you look at that, and those guys seem to carry grudges in ways that the Pro Football Hall of Fame voters don't seem to be quite as I can't even think of the word, but jerks about that. But yeah, he's got the numbers. I mean, consider this. Y'all know John Stallworth, right? He was a Hall of Fame receiver for the Pittsburgh Steelers in the 70s. Roger Craig has more catches and more receiving yards than John Stallworth. And John Stallworth was a receiver. So
Right.
I think that if Roger Craig was in the or if he was a receiver, I think he'd already be in, but he's a running back. So he's judged against running backs. And I had one of the Hall of Fame voters tell me that 10,000 yards is kind of the magical number, that if you don't get to 10,000, you're not going to get in, that it's kind of an unwritten rule, and Rodgers under that. But here's the thing. He has more rushing yards than Larry Zonka and Gale Sayers, who are both in the Hall of Fame.
Both in the
So
Hall.
he has numbers that should get him in, but the receiving thing is just really super impressive to me. He has more catches than Lynn Swann, and Lynn Swann is one of the greats, so I don't know. It's weird.
Fight on, Lynn Swann. Fight on. But don't mind Marcus real quick. I know what you're asking, Marcus. I'll help you out here. He doesn't mean Ricky Walters. He means Ricky Waters.
Oh my God! Here we go.
I mean, they would have like kind of similar cases, right? Like, wouldn't they be outside of the Super Bowl rings? They might have similar cases. Don't you think?
Perk in the house.
Yeah, I mean, you think about how Bill Walsh used Roger Craig. Mike Shanahan used Ricky Waters the same way, and now Kyle Shanahan's using Christian McCaffrey that way. And so Ricky Waters has been starting to work his way toward being a finalist for the Hall of Fame, and he may get in as well. I mean, 49ers and Eagles player. Who else did he play for? Well, he played for the 49ers and Eagles, but I don't remember who else. But no, Ricky Walters was not better than Roger Craig, and I don't think Ricky Waters was either. But I never saw Ricky Walters play. But
No, this is just how he types. He just always fucks up when he types. And we give him shit.
He's like
for
me, like
it.
I don't proofread either. I just type it and hit send, but I will every once in a while. I'll go through and kind of like look and see just to make sure every once in a while. I don't do the whole
He's got that McDonald's Wi-Fi, Mark.
There you go. There you go.
I was gonna say too the about comparing the different Hall of Fames. Yeah, because Barry, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, he's in that latter stage where he has to be like written in like in the senior levels, right? Like
Really,
he's
I'm not
not.
sure.
Oh yeah, I think that's what it
Wow.
is.
Yeah,
He's no
Bonds isn't
longer
on the he's not on the ballot anymore. He's
Oh,
it's
right.
like
wow.
a select
He can't be submitted
crew.
on the
Yeah.
ballot.
Yeah, and that's ridiculous because he was a Hall of Famer before steroids was a thing. So, and who knows? I'd say a lot of those guys were probably using, but
Yeah.
he should be in. That's just it's dumb that he's not. But
I mean, to be fair, Bonds was using the clear. Okay, he didn't inject himself.
Well,
I'm just
I don't
that's a
know
topic
anything
for
about
another
that
day.
stuff.
That's a topic for another day.
Okay. All right.
That's a topic for another day.
So Mark, question.
Bonds is the goat.
If you had to pick one thing that's preventing him from being in the Hall of Fame, what would that one thing be? Or what do you think they're focusing on to prevent him?
And don't say the fumble again.
No, I think
Thanks, Trey.
Based on what the Hall of Fame voters that I interviewed said, it's that he didn't get to that 10,000 rushing yards mark. And so what happens is the further he's moved away from his playing days, there are Hall of Fame voters that are coming in that are younger who never saw him play. In fact, one of the Hall of Fame voters told me that he recently talked to a football writer who did not know who Roger Craig was. And this was an NFL writer, and he doesn't know who Roger Craig is, the guy who won 3 Super Bowls with one of the great dynasties in NFL history. And so I think that's part of it, is that there are guys coming in and voting who they're only looking at stats now because they don't know the impact that Roger Craig had on those teams. And so, I mean, like Steve Young said that the days of the eye back are almost over. You've got guys like Derrick Henry who are still in the game, but that position is being phased out, and the running back position is becoming more of a McCaffrey type style. And he said that started with Roger Craig. And when you change the position, you should be in the Hall of Fame. Amen. But these voters that are looking at stats only, they don't see that part. And so they don't hear that Bill Walsh told Matt Mayoko, I couldn't fully run my offense until I had Roger Craig. Bill Walsh couldn't fully run his offense until he had Roger Craig. But that doesn't show up in the stats.
Hey, Christian.
Well, you know where it does show up? Look at the 1980s All-Decade team. Tell me who's on there.
Yeah, Walter Payton, Eric Dickerson, John Riggins, and Roger Craig, the only one.
There you go.
Only all-decades running back from the 70s, 80s, and 90s who's not in the Hall of Fame.
Not in the Hall.
Exactly. And that's the thing for me. I think, even when we go forward, like I know you brought up this point. Also, hi, Mark. How you doing? I know I'm a little late.
That's right.
Gordon Watkins, he's a Falcons fan.
And
usually the host.
No, but like one thing that always gets on my nerves, especially when it comes to Hall of Fame, of people not being recognized or understanding the legacy that they left, right? You talked about Christian McCaffrey. You don't have LaDainian Tomlinson if it's not for Roger Craig. You don't have Marshall Faulk if it's not for Roger Craig. And again, the fact that you can be recognized as one of the best players in a decade, and like you said, the only one on that decade team that's not in the Hall of Fame, that makes absolutely no sense. Like, I don't care to a certain extent, like, a numbers thing, because again, especially when you go decade to decade, how the game changes, certain milestones and markers are going to change. They don't mean as much, right? Like if you have a receiver, just for example, that you have a receiver now in the 2020s that gets 10,000 yards. Okay, cool. Like still a great accomplishment, right? Like that's a lot of longevity, but getting 10,000 yards playing now is not the same as getting 10,000 yards as a receiver in the 1980s. Right. Getting 1,000 yards rushing in a season now is different than getting 1,000 yards rushing back then.
Yeah.
So to an extent, it's like you really do have to appreciate the game itself, right? Like I know for me as a Falcons fan, one of my gripes and one of the gripes that a lot of people have is Claude Humphrey not being a Hall of Famer. Because again, you think about some pass rushers, and I think for part of his career, a sack wasn't like a legit tallying stat just yet. But with the transition and the progression of a pass rusher and certain pass rush moves, you don't get that without Claude Humphrey. So it's hard to tell. I mean, again, like that's the big story, right? Can you tell the story of the NFL without this person?
Yes.
If the answer is no, you can't tell it, they need to be in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
Roger Craig is one of those players.
That's a perfect way to put it. And when I talk to some of those voters, or the Hall of Fame voters, that's what the kind of things that they said is that you have to be able to tell that story. So yeah, there's another running back from the 80s who played a very similar style to Roger Craig. He was not on the all 80s team, but he's in the Hall of Fame. Do you know who that is?
The 80s.
80s.
Played for the Raiders.
Marcus Allen?
Marcus Allen.
Wow.
He was a lot like Roger Craig.
Right.
Caught the ball out of the backfield.
He's not in the Hall of Fame.
Great play. No,
That surprises me.
He is.
He is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you said he isn't. I was like,
I did too.
He's in the Hall of Fame, but he wasn't one of the all decades running backs from the 80s.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but Marcus deserves to be in there. He was great. But Roger does as well.
Hey, Rod.
But we definitely appreciate you putting in the effort for this and champion Roger Craig's cause to make the Hall. And I really hope he's successful and he gets in.
Hell yeah.
It would definitely be something that young Wise would be really excited about. So
yeah, it'd be great.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, hey, thanks for having me on and letting me share the case, because that's what we're trying to do is build a lot of momentum toward this vote. So hopefully on Tuesday it goes our way.
All right, and that's when we'll find out, or he's just going to move to the next portion?
I asked Matt Mayoko, are we going to find out on Tuesday? And he said, sometimes we'll find out the same day. If not, it should be the next day. So
got it.
Kind of depends on how they release that and so forth.
All right, that's what's up. Thanks for coming through, Mark. We appreciate it.
If you guys watching the show want to find out and watch his series, it's linked in the description box, and Mark's social on Twitter and IG is the same, 49ers Camelot, and it's also in the description box if you want to follow him.
Yep, I'll be there unless I die. So, but I don't plan on it.
Well, let's hope that doesn't happen. Right.
All right. Yeah. All right. Y'all have.
Thank you so much for coming. Appreciate it. Always love talking Roger Craig.
Yeah.
The greats of 49ers.
That's right. Have a good night, guys.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, you too. Bye. Where's Jordan? So that was good, man. I want him to go into the Hall of Fame so bad, and it sucks that Roger Craig always has that hanging over his head, the fumble preventing a three-peat,
I was watching it was some show he was on, and he was
agreed, Perp.
And he comes out, he said, "They did it to me again, not again." And I was like, man, you could feel like the hurt and the pain when he was saying. I was like, God, that guy, man. Every year, same thing.
Like, Steve-O, T.O. too. Hell yeah. I mean, at least he's in the 49ers. I mean, like, he got past that hurdle, No,
T.O. got in though.
Yeah, he's in.
Well,
yeah,
just
he
saying.
Didn't get in first ballot. Yeah,
but it was just he had to like make amends. Though is what I'm saying. Like he had to go around and make amends with everybody.
Yeah, T.O.
What's up, Rod?
Definitely was a Hall of Famer.
Long day. What up, y'all? I didn't want to interrupt. I ain't want to interrupt my man. That's why I just.
Yeah.
But long day. I'm here. What's up?
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Right,
Marcus Day and did the T.O. dirty.
Can y'all hear me now?
We can, sir.
All right, cool. Sorry, that I was technical difficulties over here. No, Roger Craig deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. And one thing I wanted to push back on real quick though is in terms of like obviously baseball voters, they definitely hold the biggest grudges. They're not the only ones that hold grudges because the NFL does too. And I mean, it looks like you already talked about the perfect example as to why. There's one receiver I know that's top 5 all time in receiving receptions, receiving yards, receiving touchdowns. It was not a first ballot Hall of Famer. And the only reason why is because the media has a certain kind of feel about who he was.
He loves him some him.
He loves him some him, but he also loves his quarterback. So
loves his quarterback,
So of course it's Terrell Owens. So no, like the NFL guys, they do the same thing. Now I'm not saying that's the reason why Roger Craig isn't in, and it's not, but I would say let's just be transparent about they hold their grudges too.
Yeah, Christian, you are correct. When T.O. was inducted into the Hall, he had his own ceremony, I think in Tennessee somewhere.
Yeah,
he did it with his with some of his peeps.
Yeah, I mean, and he got in, but it shouldn't have. It's like you said, Jordan. It shouldn't have come to that with T.O.
Just like his buddy Chad Johnson's a Hall of Famer. I'm sorry, he's a Hall of Famer. He should be. If you're talking about what he did on the field, he's a Hall of Famer.
The issue with Chad is Chad's going to probably be he's going to be like this Roger Craig scenario. I think he's going to have to be championed in at some point where we're going to be it'll be down the road. Like, I agree with you. I think he's a Hall of Famer. Like, Chad Johnson was
Marcus, you are wrong.
But he's definitely going to have to be championed in.
I don't know. I might have to be there again when Julio Jones goes in. I might have to make that trip.
Oh, Lord.
I'm going to be so proud.
We say what?
I mean, he'll get there, but oh Lord, Julio, all right.
I'm gonna be so proud.
Sober me mental. What is Steve-O talking about? Steve-O already on it tonight.
What's going?
Marcus, it's driving me crazy right now.
Whoa, what did Marcus do now? Oh, by the way, Rod. Rod, you missed it when Marcus was talking about Ricky Walters.
Hey, wait, I gotta find it.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
I gotta find
yourself.
it. Exactly. I was like, Ricky Walters. I was like, who the hell is that? I was like, I got pretty good football knowledge, but I missed that one.
And someone tried to defend him and go, "Oh, it was probably just an autocorrect." And we go, "No."
That's just Marcus. Yeah.
He probably meant Barbara Walters.
Barbara Walters.
Shout out to her. Rest in peace.
I don't proofread either, bro. But damn,
that's all good. It's all good.
I don't know why don't y'all hold on? Why don't y'all proofread? Why do y'all just press send real quick as hell? Why don't y'all over? That shit is like,
we're just trying to hurt me.
Boy,
what did Herm Edwards say? What did Herm Edwards say, Rod?
Don't press in.
Don't press send, man. Like, look at what you type in. You typed it out and then you look at it, and then you just be like, and it's like, what the fuck? Now we got to make out what you just sent to us, and it's like we feel like second graders reading because it's like the dog went far. Like, what is?
Congratulations. You played.
Oh man. I needed this laugh today, y'all.
Yes, Christian. It was so funny. It made me laugh. I'll show you what it fucking was right here. This is why I was dying. That's why I was laughing off.
Marcus is asking for the smoke tonight. He's asking.
He really is.
He's asking for it.
That's why I was crying right now.
Oh man.
But no, I'm so happy to see y'all, man. I needed to pick me up. Today was that one day, the thing that happened I did not want to happen.
Freshly shaven, Marcus. Freshly shaven, pause. What the?
Oh man. Hey. It's a great time tonight, y'all. It's a great time tonight.
Oh shit.
It's a great time tonight. But yeah, Jordan, we happy that you're here, man. We happy that you're here.
I need to pick me up, and I'll tell y'all why. So obviously, y'all know I was
I can't.
I was at practice, right? So just coaching the kids up. One of the linemen came to me today, and he said, "You give off ump vibes." I was so hurt. I'm like, I'm 29. What do you mean ump vibes? Like, no, I can't be there already.
Jordan feel like he nephew still. Like, I get it. You nephew to us. You nephew to us.
You nephew to us.
Already.
Yeah.
Fuck,
But
I get man vibes
it's
all the
nothing more than
time.
your height.
Shit.
It's nothing more than the height, Jordan. That's all it is.
No,
I don't
that's
even
just a
get
sign of
carded.
that's respect, man. That's respect right there.
I don't want no
We say
respect. I'm
we don't call
29.
everybody We don't call everybody
I didn't like it either, but guess
I'm
what?
29. I don't want no
You're
respect.
going to love it.
It's
You're
2K
gonna love it.
teacher. What up, Edmund?
Especially when they call you AOG, you're like, okay, yeah, that's what's up. You know what I'm saying?
Now, see, that's worse.
They look at you like OG.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm just one step away. I'm one step away now.
Now you got a few years before you get to that.
My brother
gotta
brother gets called OG.
Oh, gee, yeah.
Shit. My brother's like, fuck that.
But now I'm here.
No, you're gonna be all right.
Like, I wanna
That
go
just means
dye my hair
the
or
kids
something.
out there on the field, they respecting you. They're like, all
I've been
right.
through up downs.
Oh no, they wouldn't have called you on after that point. You would have got some other shit called up downs. Like fuck is Jordan doing? Coach Watkins getting on my fucking nerves, like
college football power rankings came out just now.
Oh wait, I can't wait to hear what Stanford is.
Have we found a conference yet for the Cardinal?
Same
since we're talking, we brought it up,
Same 1 year in, buddy.
Yeah, that's what I figured. We're still.
Yeah.
I don't like the options being floating around for them, but
I don't need
it'll be what it'll be, I guess.
Yep. Hey, K Sarah. So what we got going on tonight? Roger Craig should be in the Hall of Fame. I agree.
Why Brock Purdy throwing so many fucking interceptions and ain't getting talked about?
All right, here we go. Let's get it. Well, I mean,
Rod is ready to go.
Grant Cohn's talking about it.
Yep. Why does Brock Purdy get a pass, but Trey Lance doesn't?
Well, that's
He has more starts. He's had more starts than Trey, but he don't get. It's cool. He's rusty still. So, what's his excuse?
Steve, I'm happy. I'm
happy too.
Yeah,
I'm hella happy.
Trust me, I'm happy. I just had a long day, but I'm definitely happy.
Here's what I'll say. Right, it's kind of what Gina said earlier. I still need Brock need to play. I need to see Brock play. Like, oh my gosh, Jenna Marcus.
Will he sit the last preseason game?
He better not. He better be out there. Like, he needs to play. Obviously, we could keep up Allen Iverson. We're talking about practice. Not a game, practice. But it is alarming.
I'm about to say it's a concern.
Yeah, it's alarming. Is it because of the defense is playing well or what? I need to see what's going on.
Christian, that's funny.
With Purdy at practice. Like, I need to see. That's why he needs to play. I need to see. But I'm more concerned about, what was it, the 7 to 10 dropped interceptions that we had throughout his interception run that we didn't get. Like, why are we dropping the ball, DBs? Like, could be the linebackers also. Let me not rule them out, but I'm concerned about a lot of that. But overall, I'm not gonna put too much weight on it right now. But if we still see this same time next week, got to be some questions being asked. So
let me ask y'all this: scale of 1 to 10, and like more so for the Niners folks in here. Scale of 1 to 10. How confident are you in Brock Purdy right now?
0.
0.
Tell us how you really feel, Rod.
How you really feel, Rod? Let it go.
Whoa!
Unload the clip. It's 0. I mean, personally, for me, I'm at a 6.5, 7 range. I'm not too worried about it right now, but check with me this time Monday or this time Wednesday, whenever we come back on. Check with me then. But he can't. It's one thing to have a day where you throw like 3 picks or whatever, but it's a minimum 1 pick every session. I don't want to hear that Pat Mahomes shit. Pat Mahomes is different. Like we're not gonna mention him.
Pat
in the
Mahomes
same,
is Pat
the same breath.
Mahomes.
Yeah.
Like let's rest with the Pat Mahomes shit for real.
But
Stop. Brock Purdy is Brock Purdy.
Wait.
give me a clean day.
Marcus has a point.
Well, I mean, I'll put it this way. You know how you tune a guitar and make sure it's ready to go? You use it, right? So obviously, yeah, you tune it up, right? You use knobs and everything. I know this from playing the violin. So that's how you tune it. But then the way you know it's tuned and ready to go is if you oh Lord. See? All right. So then what you do is once you start playing it, that's when you know, all right, either it's in tune or it's not. If it's not in tune, you got to go right back to it, try to find the right spot for it. So here's the thing again for me with Brock Purdy. I am never going to know. Like I would say, even as like just a objective like football watcher, I give him a 5 right now in terms of confidence. The reason why I say 5, I still need to see what he does when there is live action and the threat of him being hit. I still think if you go back to Trey's the game on Sunday. I think you saw some of that hesitancy because he knew he was going to get hit. That's the first time ever since he broke his ankle that was a possibility that he could get hit. Brock Purdy, ever since the NFC Championship game, has not had any situation in practice where he might or might not get hit. Like there's a reason why you see some of the discrepancy with the numbers, right, from camp. Like Greg Cohn might say he did this. He threw this for this. David Lombardi says this for this. Matt Mayoko says this for this. List goes on and on and on. Some reporters, they do consider the fact of, well, if this was a game, you'd have a sack. It wouldn't count. Others don't. Part of it is, so again, well, you're not going to see him have to deal with getting sacked in practice because if you try to hit the quarterback, well, you're off the team.
Yep.
Only way you can see it is in a game. So I say this right now. Brock Purdy needs to play this weekend. It's imperative he plays this weekend. Because I don't think you would see him at all play the next weekend because usually the final training camp game, preseason game, is used for those fringe guys, right? Who's going to make the team? Who's going to make that final 53? So you better use him this week. Otherwise, it is a very good possibility you do not see Brock Purdy playing a game until Pittsburgh, where you got Cam Hayward, TJ Watt, Alex Highsmith, and all those guys coming after him.
Coming at him.
No,
Good luck.
Pause. I
could have sworn though. I thought they still use that third game as the dress rehearsal, seeing as
play the first half.
Yeah, they played the first. I thought that's what they did last year against the Texans.
It's a mix. Some teams do, some teams don't. Like it used to be, like when it was 4 games, every team did that, right? Like every team used the third game, and then the fourth is again like who's the fringe guys, yada yada. But now I don't know.
Yeah, I definitely don't think he's playing this weekend, but he needs to play in that final preseason game. We can't not see him this preseason and feel confident going into Pittsburgh because we don't know what we're going to get. So we would be fools to say, "Oh, well, we remember what he did last year." That's not the same. We need to see.
That's what signed y'all Jimmy G to the contract extension.
What happens if Brock Purdy goes in and he plays preseason and he throws an interception? What's the excuse?
As long as he doesn't melt, he's still good to go.
I don't know if there's excuses for it.
Right?
He's gonna throw a pick. He's gonna throw a pick. It's gonna be. Is this a concern? Like that's gonna be the thing because he wasn't turnover prone as a rookie.
Yeah,
it's just becoming something. So
he almost threw a lot of interceptions as well. They just didn't catch him.
They didn't catch him. Right. I'm saying he didn't have a lot of interceptions last year. I ain't talking about the ones that were dropped. I'm talking about he just didn't. He only threw 3-4 picks.
True.
So
true.
I'm saying how many more picks should have Jimmy thrown in his team with the Niners? And the reason why I bring it up is because not as a quarterback, your job is to. But here's what I'm saying though. As a quarterback,
why
your job
are we bringing that
is,
motherfucker up?
Here's what I'm saying. If Jimmy threw a pass and it was almost intercepted, but not, weren't y'all going, "Oh my God, Jimmy, why would you throw that? Why did you do that?"
Oh, it's gonna be the same thing.
Okay, that's all. That's all I'm saying.
It's gonna be the same thing.
It's the same energy. It's the same energy.
Let me rephrase that. I don't fucking care who threw the ball. It's gonna be that energy. It could be Brock, Trey. Allen? It could be whoever. If anybody does that shit, I'll be like, "What the fuck are y'all doing?" So that's just me.
I like this question because there's different answers for it. I have a long-term answer and a short-term answer.
Why do you guys have higher expectations for Brock or Trey? Oh, who do you? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
who?
who?
I got my Marcus on. Let me focus. All right. It comes with context with that.
Exactly.
Higher expectations of what I know is happening with the 49ers. I'm gonna say
we got you, Click.
Brock. But as a player, I still think Trey has the possibility of being an elite level quarterback.
Yeah.
I think Brock is everybody keeps trying to say Brock's comp is Drew Brees. I don't see that.
Listen,
I'm being completely honest. You know, Brock is kind of Andy Dalton-ish. He'll be good. He'll be solid. But are we winning with that? I think Trey can be different. He just got to play. The CTE kicking in, hilarious. Hey, it's been a rough couple of weeks, man. It might be.
No,
but yeah,
Steve,
but you do know that when it comes to practice, they always try to blame it on like the new play calls, the new play schemes, and we're just trying to see if that play is going to work. That's probably through the So is that going to be one of the? I'm not going to say excuses, but is that going to be one of the reasons, or could that be one of the reasons why he's throwing picks, just to see if these drawn up plays are actually working and can be used?
And Steve, I'm still blaming Kyle for that too. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'm still blaming him for it.
You ain't got to ask Jordan that either. You can ask me too. I blame him. I'm right along. Everything that Jordan thinks about, I'm right along with him.
But I mean, I think anytime, like, it's not even just in that game. Of course, it was that game in particular because that's the best pass rushing D-line in the league, talking about the Eagles. But anytime I see an offensive coordinator think it's a good idea to block a pass rusher with a tight end, I think it's the dumbest thing you could possibly do.
So Jordan is pretty much saying he wouldn't be on this podcast right now if he was getting blocked by tight ends.
Oh my gosh, no.
Yeah. Jordan's like, I wouldn't be in the podcast right now.
Listen, either by a tight end or by the 49ers second string offensive line right now, I would not be on this podcast. All right.
You be cooking? How would Marcus say it? You be cooking?
Let's cut. Let's cut. Let's cut.
Oh shit.
Let's cut.
Let's cook. That shit is hilarious.
Marcus looks great. Let's cook.
Giving the people what you want. Oh shit.
My gosh.
Marcus is the type of dude that gets offended by. Marcus looks like he's the type that gets offended when people offering him gum.
Wow. I gotta hit you with one of those. Like, hold on, like, you gotta get one for that. That's Marcus, get him off you, my guy. Get him off you in the chat.
My gosh.
I don't want to get started on Marcus tonight.
Click X Factor. What's your other question, my guy?
And then I want to hit on something Steve said too. Once he has a question.
Pause.
Yeah, no, go ahead, sis. We gotta wait for him to type it in. So
he's talking about watching film, which is cool. I got you. Here's the play that it happened on, right? Because obviously Brandon Ayuk is wide open, or he's about to be wide open. And I know this is your third year watching film. This is like my 10th. So the way I look at it is, who was he blocking? Hassan Reddick, one of the top pass rushers in the league. And you're asking him to block to help set up a long developing route down the field. Now, again, to a certain point, it almost worked. It almost did. I got that. But guess what? It did not. There are a lot of more bad things, in my opinion, when you try to block a really good pass rusher with a tight end primarily versus when he's just like chipping a little bit or something like that. There's a lot more bad things that can happen, and you saw it. You saw what could happen. So I'm not for it. And if you are going to do it, it's got to be a play that develops a lot quicker than how long that play took.
That's fair.
What's up, Pterodome?
What up, Pterodome?
Pterodome, what up, the OG?
And I feel like
now Pterodome's an OG.
I mean, so am I too.
Yeah.
You OG to high schoolers.
Marcus. You gotta let that go, man. Yeah.
You're OG to high schoolers.
I gotta get my white towel when I go on the grill. I got my slides. I got my plate. She's a bad man, but Jim, I'm
stupid.
Oh,
just as fine as she could be.
Before I let go.
No, they really got Jordan with that one, man.
They
He
did.
didn't like the unk.
Well, you know why? Because literally, I was listening to the morning roast this morning, right? Shout out Vontae, shout out Shasky. They were having this conversation about like that's when you know you're washed, is when people start calling you OG and unk and things like that.
God.
So of course it happens to me the
Washed?
same day that I'm listening to it.
Wow.
I'm not gonna say washed now.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like
Little
wash.
extreme. Little extreme.
Bit of
Little
a
extreme.
Yeah.
So it's
I
yeah,
got
don't worry
called
about that, man.
Well,
Don't worry about that. You're all right.
7 years ago.
He
Oh,
said,
wait.
wear church socks with sandals,
I'm
OG.
gonna start calling everybody randomly Youngblood.
Yeah.
Oh, Thundercats.
Oh man. He gonna
That's how you
get a
do it.
Bluetooth headphone and everything, ain't she?
Ah, Steve-O, you played, so that 4 more years. Gotcha. Cool. Good to know.
Wow, that mustache is musty.
That
Wow.
mustache is musty. I mean, Marcus could have a mustache. Marcus have a mustache for all we know. We just wouldn't be able to see it. I don't know. I don't know whenever Marcus is on which pixel was his mustache with as bad as that Wi-Fi. I just don't know which one it is.
I know
Also,
that
thanks for
that
hey.
Minecraft shit he be having.
and thanks for checking out. I didn't know you were checking me out, Marcus. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh my gosh.
Oh shit! Oh
That was wild.
my god!
I guess the click dude he didn't get his question in, so
I think it was he didn't put it in as a question, but I think his whole point was this one right here talking about
okay.
trying to force things after the surgery, and then also of course they're in practice, so they're just trying to he's just trying to see what he can do or can't do. Which again, training camp, I do understand that.
What's up,
but,
Jay?
I don't always believe in that. I don't.
No, I mean
That's my boy
it's-
Jay, Mr.
like I said,
James. What
it's-
up? He's a Cowgirls fan.
Oh, he said I got some tick left. I
What
appreciate
up,
it.
James? I just gotta
I'm here to tell you right now,
you gotta
we
say-
don't care. Let me tell you, we don't care. Jerry.
Yo, Dennis over here
Oh,
sounding
shit.
like Kawhi right there. I was like, I didn't know if that was a raw soundtrack or not. I was like, Dennis got the Kawhi laugh. Dennis is like, hold on, I don't want to laugh no more.
I don't even know who I'm looking at.
Yeah,
I know.
Rod Rock and the Casio. Oh, Marcus is trying to get him off.
That's cornball, Marcus.
Oh shit!
He's saying that's what he's
Big
saying.
time.
It
Absolutely.
didn't land, Marcus.
Congratulations.
Steve,
But,
don't worry. I'll be holding my mic again soon because this is what I sound far away from it, and then it sounds like this when I'm closer. So don't worry, it'll be happening.
Ah, yes.
See why I do
I'm
it?
just happy nobody holding a mic anymore. Jeez. Hey, we
Late
got a
nights
whole mic
with-
sometimes. We got a whole mic sometimes.
Late
I
nights
can
with
hold my
Steve.
mic.
All right, see what you did.
Oh,
Do you want me to hold
now,
hey,
we didn't
now
cross
we
over
went
into
the chill
somewhere.
mode. Yeah,
See what you did.
we've entered Chill Town. So
Nah, it ain't
No.
it, y'all.
Just kidding. We got a lot
But
more
no,
sports to talk, so let's go.
Yeah, but
Go
quick
ahead.
to answer your question real quick. Long term, career wise, higher expectations for Trey Lance this year. Brock Purdy.
I have higher expectations for Brock only because this whole Mr. Irrelevant shit, and Kyle decided to go with him after the 7 undefeated starts. Wait, was that counting Philly? He didn't count
played he played in 8 games, I think, and then Philly would have been the 8th.
So the 7 wins, right?
I think-
Because I was
I think
thinking,
so.
didn't he play 8 games and then?
he did because he
He
came
won
in
7.
after in the Dolphins game. He didn't start
Right.
that game, so
Right.
they don't technically
Right,
count
okay.
that. So
Okay. So yeah, I have a lot higher expectations. With Trey, we still haven't seen anything enough. We haven't seen enough. So I have higher expectations on, while the rest of the world, all the Trey haters seem to have more expectations on Trey. I have them on Brock because Kyle chose him as QB1.
Mm-hmm. And that's the good point, Gina. I'm so glad you brought that part up. You know who we get to all put this back on if we have higher expectations for Brock Purdy this year? Kyle Shanahan.
Kyle Shanahan. I'm gonna be on his head.
There you go, Rod.
pause.
There you go, Rod.
Pause.
Ooh.
There you go,
Double
Rod.
pause. Double pause.
This
Did
this
you
is
say you don't pause?
no. She better not have said that. Is that what she said? She said play and not
What?
pause.
No, I
You
thought
said
you said
play?
I don't pause.
I said
Oh,
double
okay.
pause.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Didn't
Oh.
Kyle?
I said
Did
double
Kyle also?
pause.
Didn't Kyle also say Jimmy G is the best Niners quarterback since Steve Young?
That's what he said. That's what he
Okay.
said.
Yes.
So I just want to
Yes, he
throw that
did.
out there too. I want to throw that out there too.
As if Jeff Garcia didn't exist.
As if Colin Kaepernick didn't exist either. Give me Colin Kaepernick over Jimmy G.
Right.
This
Ooh,
is the problem I'm having with
Cap took us to the Super Bowl, but anyway.
This is the issue I'm having with everything that's going on. It's another year we're starting with distractions. As a 49er fan, it's irritating. Like, this is the last 3 seasons we're starting with distractions in the beginning of the season. The season hadn't even started yet, and here we are. We kind of touched on this when the Warriors started last season. They had the punch. It's a distraction leading into the season. Now we got this whole quarterback thing trying to play out in front of us, only because it was led to believe going into camp it was a competition.
Alex Smith.
Instead of just coming in and saying, "Hey, this is the person, and this is what it's gonna be." Yeah, we'd still be talking about it, but the expectation would already have been set. But instead, we went 2-3 weeks into camp, looking at what's happening, seeing what's happening, and having more controversy. So it's another distraction. We had the distraction last year when Jimmy G was on the practice field practicing down by himself. It happens, and that's a problem. Alex, what do you say, Alex Smith?
Well, I mean, y'all have a lot of distractions this year. I mean, there's a quarterback situation
and Debo last year, and the Debo contract
last year, and of course now, like the point that Steve-O brings up, he's given his his number estimate. What's going on with Nick Bosa? Like, do y'all think this is that this average per year is good enough, and that's going to get it done, and that he'll show up? Or, I mean, what do y'all think?
I'm still not worried about Nick Bosa.
Shit. Yeah, me either. I mean, it'll all add up properly. It'll be fine. I'm not even tripping. Just like the Debo thing, I knew he was coming back. I kept tweeting it. I was like, dude, it's gonna be okay.
Also got a couple more Trump rallies to go to.
Exactly.
Oh, so he's in Atlanta right now.
Hilarious. He might be. He might be.
Go ask moms. Let us know.
I'll go ask Young Thugs people since they got the same DA.
Hilarious.
And what kind of world are we in where Young Thug and Donald Trump are literally having the same RICO charges by the same DA? That's incredible, man. That's
what a time.
Incredible.
Drake
told
can't make this shit up.
What a time. But no, here's the thing though with Nick Bosa. I still I'm not thinking, oh, might not pay him. You're gonna pay him. That's Nick Bosa. One of, if not the best edge defenders in the league. So boom, just off that easy, you're gonna pay him. Here's the thing though, for me, however long it takes is however more and I'm saying this as a defensive lineman for something. That's how much more I am going to get concerned for him about when he does start playing. How ready is his body going to be? Right? Like, I know y'all talked about it. Like you said, he doesn't like training camp. Nobody likes training camp, but it's necessary. You got to get your body acclimated into hitting and all these things. Like, remember, there's nothing you can do as a workout that can get your body ready for a 300+ pound dude hitting you every single play. There's nothing you can do during a workout that gets you ready for that. So that's my concern, is the longer this goes, the longer his body is not going to be acclimated and ready to go. That's my biggest concern. And that's where, injury concerns and all that start popping up, because what I've seen, at least what I've seen so far from preseason and training camp, this Niners D line is not as deep. It's talented. It's not as deep as it was last year. They like to rotate guys up front. Chris Kosaric does a good job of rotating guys in and out. Now, last year, you had Samson Ebukam. You had Charles Omenihu. You had other guys on the edge that could still make things happen if Nick Bosa comes out in the couple plays here or there. You don't have those dudes anymore. Like, hell, you're hoping Drake Jackson makes a jump so he can be the guy opposite of Nick Bosa. So you're hoping. You don't even know if that's going to be the thing yet.
You're
So
counting
you
on
might,
a lot of
yeah,
young bodies.
you're counting on a lot. So you're hoping that, and if that's not the case, well, then you need Nick Bosa on the field more. So you just better hope his body's ready to go.
Marcus says to give Bosa a blank check.
I mean,
Looks like
it's easier said than done. It's by the way, everybody keeps talking about, oh, John Lynch needs to get it done. Stop. John Lynch isn't doing the Bosa contract. It's Parag. Parag does the deals. So real 49er fans know that. Lynch just gets in front of the camera. Parag is the money guy. So
right, he's
Parag
the financial wizard.
Yeah, he likes to finesse people. So that could be a hold up in it too. But eventually they know they got to pay Bosa. They know. I mean,
Absolutely.
He knows they know. That's why he ain't here. So it'll get done. It's just like, I think Terradome's the one that said he heard it might go into the season. If it goes into the season, I would be completely surprised. I will too. Completely surprised.
Shocked.
Yeah,
that honestly, that kind of item or that kind of thing would change the tone of the season because it becomes a bigger distraction now.
Absolutely.
Forget what we're doing on the field. It's when's Bosa coming in. No matter what we do in Pittsburgh week 1, we win. When's Bosa coming in? We lose. Hey, why didn't you have Bosa? Where's it becomes,
and that price goes up too if you don't win without him.
It won't be the same price. Yeah. So in the end of the day, Parag should probably get it done sooner than possible or sooner than later. I'm sorry. I think he'll get it done before the 3rd preseason game. I'm gonna stand on that. And both of y'all don't play. Just get this shit done. Y'all about to start stressing me out about this shit. I wasn't even worried about it, but now Terradome, he over here got inside sources and stuff. So
I'm sorry, Steve-O's cracking me up right now.
But I think all of us assume though, like before 2 weeks in, we all would have thought and expected that this deal was going to be done. I mean, Rod, I know you had your mark right that first week was going to be done. Still not done. Y'all thought, I mean, so now it's just like the more and more it goes on, the more you kind of can't help but have that concern creep in your mind. And Marcus, first off, I know you want to talk about my CTE. I mean, I might have it because I actually played, you didn't. But also, I want to commend you. He
boxed, though.
Yeah, well, he was in the ring. So I want to commend you, though. I want to commend you. You spelled CTE correctly. Marcus spelled CTE correctly, y'all. I'm so proud of him. Good job, Marcus. We're getting
Shout
better.
out to Marcus.
We're getting better.
It's yeah, it's we'll see how that all plays out, man. Like the Bosa deal is it's not a distraction per se yet, but it's getting close to where it's going to be a concern soon.
Okay, so if it does become a distraction, which is going to be the more talked about? Brock Purdy and Trey?
Lance.
This is always going to be the quarterback. Always the quarterback.
Trey Lance. Yep. Trey be standing on the sideline. Why is he smiling? They'll argue about that. It'll be something crazy, something wild.
I'm telling you, y'all keep saying y'all think Trey going to be on the side. I'm not convinced.
He's going to be there.
I'm not convinced anymore, man. I'm not.
He's going to be there.
My whole statement was there's no reason to get rid of Trey. He's still on his rookie deal. There's no reason to do it, right? Like, that's been my whole stance. Everybody, he's going to get Trey. I'm telling you, just watch how people move. I always pay attention to little shit like that. I'm not convinced anymore. I'm not. And
I'll give you a caveat. I think the only reason why he'd be moved is if you see some injuries go with other starting quarterbacks around the league. Because then at that point, it's all right. Well, maybe our chances are done. Let's see if we can bring this guy in who's still young. I think he's got the option still left. Let's see what he has. If you think there's something there, then we can work with it. But outside of that, I mean, especially if you're the 49ers, this is the same team that was trying to make the petition to have the rule that you can bring a third quarterback on your roster without it counting against the 53-man roster. So I think especially after last year, this is the group that is going to pride themselves the most at having the deepest quarterback room they can possibly have, which means Trey Lance is in it. So I don't think he's going anywhere.
It definitely is not going to be Josh Johnson, Marcus. I'm not saying that. I'm saying look at what they're doing. I mean, they brought Allen in. He's here. Darnold for whatever reason, they've been hyping Darnold up since he's been on the team. And I'm not a whole Darnold is trash ass and all that, but Darnold ain't the starting quarterback. He's not a starter. He's a solid backup. If we got to play him for a week or two, cool. But like I said, that first preseason game, Trey played a lot. Sam Darnold didn't. And it's not because I think they have Trey ahead of Sam Darnold right now on the depth chart like that. I just think Kyle is moving to where he's like, let me ease back on Sam Darnold. So if they keep him as a third quarterback, people are going to be mad. It's going to be a bigger distraction. So let me ask you guys this. You keep him as a third string quarterback. Let's say they give it to Sam Darnold. Isn't that not a bigger distraction than just cutting them all together?
And then
Depends on how we're playing.
Yeah, I would say that too. Also, Christian, I believe
Fair.
for first round rookies, it's 4 years and then that 5th year option.
5th year option. Right.
But no, I think that's the best way to put it. Because here's the thing, like we talked about it on the last show about Brock Purdy having pressure and more pressure than he had at all last year because he didn't have it. Like you're coming in third string dude, hey, whatever happens, happens. No matter what goes on this year now, even if you cut Trey Lance or you let him go, as soon as Brock Purdy does not play well, everybody's still going to bring up, whether Trey Lance is on the team or off the team. Oh, man, well, if only you gave Trey Lance a chance, maybe he would look better than this. Oh, man, I wish we could see Trey out there. Like, that's just naturally going to happen. So I don't think it fully matters if he's on the team or not. If anything, I'd say if you get him off the team, the noise would be worse.
Marcus, if Trey is a project, what is Brock?
Look, I get it. The Niners looked really good at the end of the year last year. I'm not. 8 games is not enough to tell me what a quarterback is or isn't.
Not at all. Not at all.
It's
funny how exactly. It's funny how Marcus can say, "Oh, he's the real deal," kind of like the national media, but Trey, he's a bust. He's a bust. He's a bust.
Well, I'll give you a better one.
Everybody knows that.
I'll give you a better one, Rod. Why is it that everybody is so many people are so sold on Brock Purdy, and I'm not trying to take away from him. Why are so many people so sold on Brock Purdy, but Jalen Hurts still has to go out and prove it another year?
Bingo.
Why is that?
Dennis is like, look, don't drag
and
me.
I know there's some other things in there, but the game-wise, you know what I'm saying.
It's because he's a black man. Let's keep it a buck.
Yes.
Let's not push this narrative anymore. I will say it. At the end of the day, we want to let Brock Purdy look like Superman. And y'all don't want the Black Panther. Absolutely.
It don't matter if we're talking about quarterback in the office, working in public. We always got to perform better just to be equal.
If Brock Purdy had a season that Jalen Hurts had last year, he would have been the next Tom Brady in the making.
Right.
But
absolutely.
Right.
No doubt.
And Terradome, you're 100% right. Jalen's paid. I love to see it. But if you listen to people talk about him, oh no, I got to see it another year. Lamar Jackson finally has some receivers around him. All right, well, I got to see what he does now that he has a good receiving core. Like everybody else has something to prove, and all these other black quarterbacks have something to prove. But y'all are telling me this quarterback who played 8 games and his performance was dwindling as those games went on. Again, we talked about the interceptable turnover-worthy passes, and he's coming off an elbow surgery injury. But y'all are sitting there telling me that all these other people have something to prove? Come on now.
Personally, I hope Hurts actually regresses slightly this season.
Well, I know you do.
Yeah, personally. Sorry, Dennis.
No, it's okay. Hey, a couple of shows back, I said I want the guy hurt, not injured, but hurt. So it's the same thing.
You're insane for that one.
I don't give a damn. So what?
I know you don't give a damn. That's why you're an Eagles fan.
Hey, but even to this point, that means he has more to prove because guess what? After a while, he's not going to be on a rookie contract anymore. So he has to prove to people he is worth that money when it's time for an extension. Jalen got
He's a real deal. He's a real deal.
Okay, well, that's my thing. So if he's a real deal when it's time for contract extension time, you give him $30, $40, $50 million a year, right? Everybody, we saying that now after 8 games.
Hey, he's the real deal.
Fans, Marcus, you want to give Brock $40 million a year already?
We still don't know if he's a system quarterback. I still think
he's the real deal. Wise.
Nah, you can be the real deal all you want to, but fuck that. We ain't paying Dak Prescott money around this bitch. Like, it's not happening. So fuck that.
Okay. So Terry, I just want to make sure when you say yes, like you if all of a sudden you could pay Brock Purdy, give him an extension right now today, and give him $40 million a year, you would do that. And I'm saying Brock Purdy, not Hurts. Brock Purdy.
Terradome is a Brock Purdy fan. I've
Which
heard.
Is fine. Which is fine. You can be a fan. I'm cool with it.
He's absolutely gonna go with it.
If you do, God bless you. Good luck paying Bosa then by doing that. Good luck paying Brandon Ayuk by doing that. There's a reason why. Again, it's a blessing. He's only getting $900K.
By the way, I want to stand on. I don't hate Brock Purdy. I just like Trey Lance. I still think Brock Purdy. I told y'all this before. I think we're gonna be good regardless. We'll be good either way. I prefer Trey Lance just because it has something to do with the whole. Let me just say it this way. Had the roles been reversed, I probably would be the same way. Like, if we had traded up all this and Brock was a number 3 pick and we went through all that, I'd be like, yo, we used all this. We got to see if the kid can play. It would be literally the same thing. So everybody's gonna be like, oh, this is all race based. Not necessarily. It's what we spent to get the kid. And of course, I'm rooting for the young brother to get a shot, especially with all the. First of all, fuck Michael Lombardi, all the bullshit he was talking.
Yes.
Fuck that dude. But
yep, no nuts. Mm-hmm.
I just want to see the kid get a shot, man. I'm to the point where I'm fine if he got to go somewhere else and get it. I just want to see the kid on the field and play, and I'll stand on it. If he's not good, he's not good, and I'll say he's not good. But I want to see it for myself first.
Mm-hmm.
What did Lombardi say? I've been gone all day, so I don't know.
So it was a podcast, yesterday?
Yeah.
I think it was why. So on this podcast, Michael Lombardi, not David Lombardi. Again, don't want to confuse that with people.
Confuse both of them, right?
So Michael Lombardi was talking about Trey Lance and his how he played in preseason, and of course what he's shown so far the first 2+ years. And he had this one quote too saying, like, when his mom picked him up out of the crib, she knew that he didn't have that quarterback gene or quarterback trait. It was something along those lines. Where it's just like, why? First off, why in the world you bring?
Why'd you bring his mom? Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
What's the personal shot for?
Right. Because if we want to take shots like that, did your mom know you'd be a trash general manager? Because you were. So
hit the Kawhi.
I'm just saying. I mean, like, if you're doing that, but I don't understand. Like, why did that need to come up?
Wow.
It was unnecessary completely. It was unnecessary.
Didn't he say that that there was no way there's like no way he's
QB instinct
on the team?
Nope.
You say what? Say it again?
Huh?
Did he say there's no way he's gonna make the team?
I'd have to listen to it back.
Yeah, I didn't hear that part, but I wouldn't be surprised if they said some bullshit like that. So
because look, I don't know where y'all from, but where I'm from, you bring up mamas in a place where mamas don't need to bring up. That's on
site.
That's
how you get in fights.
Yeah,
that's how you get in fights. Exactly.
Yeah.
So
no, don't. You can talk a lot. There's a lot to talk about with Trey's performance.
Like he knew, like it was known from the straight from being a baby in a crib. But when you use the word "mama," like, excuse me, and I was like, I was so pissed off. I was like, yeah, well, your mom couldn't find your nuts.
Wow. Oh, okay. That was different. Didn't expect that one. Right. There should not be an expectation that they need to give him a chance. What does that mean? What are you saying, Marcus? Because Marcus been anti-Trey from jump. Look, and I'm getting to the point, Marcus. I'm not even gonna fault you on it because that's just who you are, Marcus. I ain't gonna list the whole Duke thing. Marcus has a Kyle Shanahan issue with it all. And
wait, what did you say?
What I
say,
I
get it, right? I get it. The problem with
I just keep it a buck.
This is gonna go with feed into Jordan and Rod how they feel about Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan brought this all on himself.
Yeah.
We had the whole Mac Jones thing. Remember? Oh, Kyle wanted Mac Jones. He even referenced Mac Jones in an interview. I think he was with Brandon Marshall and crew. He interviewed with them. He was talking. It was either going to be Mac Jones or Trey Lance. If you felt that you had to get talked into drafting Trey Lance, and you really wanted Mac Jones, that's a problem in itself. I'm not mad if you wanted Mac Jones, we would have been mad. I personally would have been pissed just because I'm not a Mac Jones fan. But you got who you wanted, and so be it. If we can talk you out of drafting Mac Jones, and now you gonna hold Trey hostage for all this shit, man, you on some bullshit, and that shit ain't cool. You on some bullshit. You on some bullshit, but yeah, fuck Mac Jones. Also, shout out to Marcus.
Hey, no, I'm with you with this one, Steve-O. This is real. That's real. Like a lot of people didn't say anything. I mean, even if you want to look at the current Niners roster, I think the only player that I've seen say something about this is Raheem Mostert. He's not on the team.
Yeah, I saw that.
So where are his teammates?
Right.
Janae
By the way,
Baltimore,
Dennis, Janae's she's the Eagles fan.
Okay. What up, Janae?
And like I said, here's the whole quote too. This is verbatim of what he said.
Yeah.
It's
just uncalled for.
What does that mean?
Wait. Look at Marcus. Look at Marcus. What are we?
We made it Mac now.
We made at Mac now.
Mark
just write themselves, boy. I tell
we
you.
Made at Mac now. We're not mad. We're made.
Damn, Marcus. Damn.
You know, Marcus. Look, we got to 3 letters today, right? We got CTE. So
congratulations, you played yourself.
It looks like when it comes to potential 4-letter words, that's where we got to stop.
That's where we stop.
We'll get there.
Anything longer than 3 letters, and that's where it goes askew.
The worst part is it's supposed to be a 3-letter word.
Jeez. That's the messed up part.
That's the worst part.
Oh my God. Man, boy. Marcus, boy.
Man.
The jokes just write themselves.
I do.
Right. Damn it, I tried to delete it. I bet you did, Marcus. I bet you did. As soon as he saw that shit, he was like, "Oh shit, I'm about to get cooked.
You played yourself.
About to get cooked."
He's like our resident Forrest Gump.
Absolutely.
Marcus is like our resident Forrest Gump.
Marcus reminds me of. No, this ain't right. That ain't right. No. It's not for this generation. I can't say that. No.
Yeah. Let us
we got too many woke people in here.
In the after show.
To answer this question, though, it's got to be at least. I mean, if they can get a third for Trey Lance, you take
Gina.
What? Oh my God!
There you go.
Listen.
Trey. I don't think he's not getting you any first round picks at all.
No. I said if you can get a third, take it and run.
Facts. He's not anything they trade for him. It's going to be conditional, and I think, like Jordan said, it'd be a third at best, and it'll probably be a conditional third. You know, like he got to play a certain amount of snaps and whatever. He got to perform a certain way.
Pause.
We want him to be the guy, but it don't seem like that's what the bosses in charge really want. So. Marcus almost had it. You know, that E's a bitch. So
that
E's a bitch. So fuck him up. It's all good,
Marcus, voice to text, bro.
Yeah, it works wonderfully.
It could be a voice thing, you know, where it don't.
Yeah, his voice don't. Yeah, his phone don't read. His phone looks at him like, whose voice is this?
Like what the fuck? What the fuck is going
on? Dog, this can't be your voice. This can't be you.
Marcus, when you coming back on the show, man? We gotta get you back on in the next couple weeks, man.
Please.
So Steve,
because you've been quiet after the little boxing match.
Steve-O,
I know you lost your rent money.
He hasn't seen it yet. He hasn't seen it yet.
He hasn't seen it yet. You're right.
That's true. His Wi-Fi.
He's only to the part where the power went out at halftime between the Ravens and 49ers. Okay, you got to let his Wi-Fi catch up.
Congratulations.
He's only there.
You played yourself.
He doesn't even know that Frank Gore didn't get the ball by the goal line. Oh, my bad, Marcus. I spoiled it. My bad.
Geez.
My fault.
Congratulations.
I'm sorry.
You played yourself.
But no, Steve, I wanted to bring this up real quick because I do want to know. I'm curious. What do you think Trey Lance is? And I'll ask this for everybody. what do you think Trey Lance's trade value is? Like, honestly, right now.
He ain't got much of a trade value because they don't have any much professional film on him.
That's what I'm saying. And so, but the thing is, like, now he's comparing two different sports with Rudy Gobert. Marcus, you're trash. So, like, again, here's the question. Like, what? You literally got called a cornball by somebody on the panel, but you over here in the comments chatting 2 minutes too late. All right. So, like, no, here's the real question though. What do you think an honest trade value is for Trey Lance?
Honestly, I don't think he has any real trade value. Maybe a fifth. Maybe a fifth. It's I honestly, we talked third a couple minutes ago. I think that's like reaching. Like, it's literally reaching. Somebody would have to be desperate to give a third, or like I said, it'd have to be completely conditional. But I'm thinking like a fifth. If we can get a fifth, hey, go for it. It'd probably be one of those 2026 fifth round picks. It wouldn't even be. That's where his value is right now. Like, nobody has enough film on him to make a determination if he's worth the investment. So that's the unfortunate part.
And I know it's a different position, but I do want to just bring this up too. So Christian McCaffrey, when he was traded, it was an exchange for second, third, and fourth in the 2023 draft, and then another fifth for 2024.
Yeah, it's a different stuff.
All of that.
Yeah, I know. Like I said, quarterback is a different world, but in terms of, one of the better playmakers in the league, and then a quarterback who we think has the potential to be something, and we just don't know at all.
The problem is,
I still believe in Trey.
We can think that, but it's somebody else is going to have to think that to be willing to pay that ransom.
Steve-O, you absolutely won the CMC trade. I don't disagree. I'm just saying that's what it took to get him. But now we're saying someone who we don't have much tape on. And again, like, I'm with you, Rod. I still believe in Trey Lance 1,000%.
I still believe in him.
I completely do. I'm just saying though, and from the standpoint of trade value around the league.
Did he just say 2 first, Rod?
Hey, Trey,
Yeah.
if they got offered 2 first for Trey,
Oh my gosh.
No.
Trey would have been gone. Trey would have been gone if somebody offered 2 first.
Yeah.
Been gone.
Hell, they got offered 2.
We've had
Trey would have been
inquiries,
out.
but I think we were asking for too much.
Y'all get 2
Yeah.
first for
No
Trey
way.
Lance. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that would have been, because you would have damn near been recouping what you lost at that point. So, wait, what? Who did that?
What was that?
Was that a new one?
I know where it comes from too. I know where it comes from.
Oh shit!
Of all people,
just
to
to hear
give an
2
announcement.
first.
I know.
Yeah.
Wow. Nah, bro.
But nah, Trey. Hey, I'm happy y'all think that highly of him. If y'all want to send over the picks for him, please do. Because
I gotta put that on the screen.
Yeah, I'm sure Maestro ain't trying to trade for nobody. I'm sure he said
We need to have him on. We need to do a joint show with them, because I need to hear some. I need to hear what they speaking on with that.
Run it.
Trey and Maestro, we gotta get you guys on here for sure.
Indeed.
Because I need to hear that explanation for 2 first
DMs.
for Trey. Like, I need to hear that.
All right, Dennis.
2 first. Oh,
Okay,
Have a
no
good one.
problem.
How about y'all?
I
So-
know. The OG
He just gonna call him Unc soon. Knowing what he went through today, he's like, Unc, all right.
I gotta get
You got to pass that energy off to somebody else. I get it. I get
quick.
I get
Real
it.
quick.
wow. Now my Ravens good with Lamar.
I keep wanting to ask about I'm mad Unc left because that Jalen Carter, like, I want to talk about that. Like, I need to talk about Jalen. I need to talk about that, man. Like, sheesh. Again, it's preseason, but
He might hop back on here just to say that, just to talk about him.
Just to talk about it.
So you're gonna talk about
I'll get him next
Dennis might have heard that and been like, "Oh, I'm back." Hey, shout out to all the 16,000 people in here right now.
Facts.
Hit that like button, y'all.
Thank you.
Indeed.
I say, yeah. You got time? What? One more topic? What we want to talk about?
Yeah, go ahead.
You want to talk about Jalen Carter?
Oh, Jalen Carter's that dude. Like, he is legit. That's what about
agree.
Jalen Carter. Like, yeah.
I fully agree.
It's looking.
Yeah, Trey, we go live Mondays and Wednesdays at 9:30 your time.
Yeah,
Told
we
y'all
can do
one.
a barbershop and chill coast to coast.
Ooh,
Run it.
I
Barbershop
like
chill coast
it.
to coast.
Barbershop and chill. I love it.
And we can get Marcus a fade while we do the show.
Whoa.
Wow. There are so
Shout-
many jokes I want to go off right now. Like,
Man.
I want to get so much off right now on that one. Pause. Like,
Pause. Whoa. Yeah. Whoa.
Talking about a
I
haircut,
put
man.
I put pause on it, but
Yeah.
Can't even
Whoa.
talk
Marcus,
You can't
they
even talk
saying
about
you rolling
haircuts
your hair
anymore
up
on
with
this
rice,
show,
my
man.
guy.
You see what happens.
I mean, yikes.
Click.
Can't even.
Answer the question. It's good personnel management. Like, that's what it is. Like, the
What's
Eagles, they
banner
finessed their
for
way into
it?
some picks, man, and that's why they're on top in the NFC right now. They got a nice little base of talent. I don't know if all these Georgia Bulldogs are gonna finally come through or not, but it's a good problem to have a lot of Georgia Bulldogs on your team right now, to be honest with you, because
I agree.
them boys is
Absolutely.
talented. So
Totally
Well, I mean,
agree.
again, that's a guy that a lot of people thought he should have been the number one overall.
number one pick for real.
And you got him at 9.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't want to say necessarily that, they've upgraded the position, but low key they've upgraded the position. Like, I mean,
I want to see what he does against the run.
yeah.
And
Yeah, that's
that'll
fair.
be my determination. Because again, like I said, obviously Javon Hargrave, phenomenal pass rusher from the inside of the line, wasn't the best against the run, which again is why you saw the Eagles struggle against the run when oh my gosh, what's his name? Jordan Davis went down and got hurt last year.
Right.
So, that's why I just want to see. So I want to see what Jalen Carter does, because obviously Jordan Davis is back and healthy. You have those two guys on the interior. Fletcher Cox still roaming around as well. And then you still got Hassan Reddick, Brandon Graham, all those dudes on the outside. Like, it really could be a potential upgrade just from that standpoint of you have a two-way defensive lineman on the inside to go with some other really good two-way defensive linemen. Because it's ridiculous, man. How'd they get Jalen Carter at 9?
Yeah, man. I'm not happy about it personally, but
Bijan Robinson better be a Hall of Famer since we didn't draft Jalen Carter. That's all.
Bijan Rob. So let's talk about Bijan just real quick before we get out of here.
Let's do it.
Jordan, when the pick happened, you weren't too happy with that pick.
Nope.
We talked about that. I was like, you don't like this? And you're like, nope. Has anything changed? Like,
so I didn't like it, obviously, because I know how talented and special he is and can be.
right.
But again, there was just something with me of when I looked at what we were doing in terms of the Falcons in the offseason. I was like, if we get Jalen Carter right here and fully improve and bolster the line of scrimmage, like we already have a really good offensive line. We could have potentially a top 5 offensive line in the league this year. If you really bolster up not only just the offseason free agent acquisitions, what they did, but then you bring in a young guy too with Grady and Onyemata, Calais Campbell. Oh my goodness, you might talk about something nasty on the defensive line too. So that's what I wanted to do. And so when you got Bijan, I was just like, all right, well, we're getting another skill guy. Because remember, our last 3 drafts now, our first picks have been Kyle Pitts, Drake London, and now Bijan Robinson. So all these skill guys.
Right.
But then I looked at it more, and I looked at a lot of it as like in terms of y'all's offense too. You have so many guys that not just are talented, but you give defensive coordinators and defensive play callers nightmares trying to figure out who's going to line up where, who's getting the ball. Okay, yeah, they might say they're in 22 personnel, which you think is run, but that 22 might be Cordero lining up over here, Bijan over here on the other slot, so it's actually empty. So then it's like, okay, well, we got a base group out there. We don't have guys that can keep up with them. Like, it just gives you nightmares. I mean, our starting tight end could be your outside wide receiver. Talking about Kyle Pitts.
Right.
So, from that standpoint, I like it, but at the same time, I got to see what it actually works out to be and how it plays out on the field. But in terms of the mismatches that they can cause offensively, I do like it.
All right. We're gonna see, man. I mean, it's all gonna come down to that one position. And we already know. So
Desmond Ritter,
exactly. So
it's great. Like they have a name for his fan group out here now. It's pretty funny. The people that support him.
What is it?
You're a Desbian.
All right, y'all. I'm out. It's been a great episode. You know, I'm gonna go ahead and just let that one roll. Y'all have a good evening. Exactly.
No, I'm serious. If you look on Twitter or X, sorry, Elon, don't suspend me.
Don't sue us. Yeah, no lawsuits.
If you go on X and if you type that in, that's what's gonna show up. I'm not joking.
That's crazy.
That is hilarious.
Not joking.
Ooh, here comes Marcus.
Why is Ritter trash? Why is Ritter trash? We don't know yet.
Why are we asking Marcus what his quarterback evaluation is?
That's true. He still thinks Mac Jones is a Hall of Famer.
Don't nobody care.
Marcus, hold on.
Uh-oh. McDonald's kicked in.
Did Rod freeze?
Can't hear you, Rod.
We can't hear you, Rod.
Marcus, I'm here. Mark, I pressed the button. Marcus, you have down 2 black quarterbacks, but you love upping 2 white quarterbacks, Marcus. I'm not letting that pass no more.
So Rod is pretty much saying Marcus wouldn't have grabbed the chair. He would have got hit by the chair. That's what we're saying. Is that what we're saying right now? Like
Marcus is giving me what's the butler on Django?
Oh, I thought you were about to call him Uncle. I thought you were going to call him Uncle Ruckus.
You giving me that type of vibe?
Oh shit!
I thought we were about to call.
Oh my god!
I thought we were about to get Uncle Ruckus. I really did.
Right. Call a spade. Steven.
Uncle Ruckus would be a good comp as well.
Remember when old boy got shot and he was grabbing him at the end because he was dying? That's Marcus, right, you give a lot of vibes.
Thank you, Terry. That's what his name was.
Shit fire. I think
Marcus he might be down for now. He ain't coming back from that one.
It doesn't matter. It don't matter if we can see. It only matters if the horse can see.
Oh, sheesh.
Oh God.
Every person that you call trash, just saying.
Hey, and I Marcus, I could be wrong here, but didn't you say Cat was trash too? Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong though. You know,
it's a little vibe-ish there, bro. Yeah. Just saying.
I think
Marcus, you gotta speak up for yourself here.
And you're a Duke fan.
What's going on?
That's the worst part.
Duke, Boston. Don't forget the Boston Celtics. The Boston.
That's Celtics. A lot of vibes of
a lot of vibes there, Marcus.
Caught red-handed, Marcus. What's going on?
All I'm saying, bro.
And Marcus is in Arizona, right? For a long time, they didn't celebrate that MLK.
MLK, huh?
They didn't celebrate that MLK out there, Marcus. I don't know how long you've been out there. You might need to come home back to California, my guy. We don't have to get you right.
Jordan.
We might have to
You're
get
right,
you right,
guys.
my guy.
The black guys should work on MLK Day. That's what they should do. Let them cook. Let them cook in the sun.
Let them cook in the sun.
Jeez. Let them cook in the sun.
That's gonna wrap up tonight's episode.
That's a good one.
Don't do this, Marcus. Don't do this, Marcus.
Oh man, this has been a good one.
We all think the bags were a good idea. I say this time we go without the bags, and then next time we do the bags right and go full regalia.
Oh man.
I'm saying, bro.
Hey, everybody in the chat, we appreciate y'all. Yes. We love y'all. Thanks for tuning in and rocking with us tonight. We appreciate that.
And remember, become a Patreon member so you can join that fantasy football league. We got a good prize coming through to the 1 or 2, so sign up.
That's right.
Matter of fact, I gotta sign up. Let me see. I'll shoot my email. You know, I ain't even signed up yet. Let me get in there.
Email.
I didn't even sign up yet.
Send me your
email.
Get in it. Pause.
Appreciate it.
Get in it.
Don't tell me.
Thank you. Click X Factor for coming through.
Let's get off. Let's get off.
We chilling out. We out.
Yeah.
I love you, Morgan.
Bye.